So what's the secret sauce? What makes a project manager truly indispensable? Well, I can tell you it's not the software they use or the letters after their name. Today, we're digging into the real competency blueprint, the thing that separates the good from the truly great and turns a simple task manager into a strategic leader.
We've all seen this, right? You've got the PM who just goes through the motions, checking off boxes, and then you have the one who seems to elevate every single project they touch. The difference isn't just about hitting deadlines. Honestly, that's just the baseline. The real gap, the magic, it lies in a set of core competencies that go way beyond basic skill.
And this quote just gets right to the heart of it. Look, frameworks like Agile or tools like Jira, they're essential for sure, but at the end of the day, they're just that, tools. The ultimate differentiator is the human element. It's how you think, how you lead, and how you adapt when things inevitably go off the rails.
Okay, before we go any further, we have to nail down this distinction because it's super important. A skill is something you can do, like creating a Gantt chart. A competency is how you apply that skill, when the pressure's on, when you're dealing with a difficult team, when everything's up in the air. Let's put it this way. Skills get the task done, but competencies deliver project success.
All right, so where does this whole journey to becoming a great project manager even begin? Well, it starts at the foundation. You've got to master the core mechanics. These are the absolute non-negotiables, the technical skills that are the bedrock of the entire profession. Without this, believe me, everything else just falls apart.
Now, these aren't just 4 separate things on a list. They're an interconnected system. They all work together. You can't manage your costs if you don't have a solid schedule, and you can't control the scope if you don't understand the risks. Mastering these hard skills, your scheduling, your cost, your scope, and your risk, that is the price of entry for any serious project manager.
Let's just zoom in on one of the most critical of these for a second, risk management. So many people think it's about making risks just poof, disappear. It's not. Real risk management is about looking into the future, anticipating what could go wrong, and having a plan ready to go. It's a strategic game, not just a reactive scramble to put out fires.
And this is exactly what that looks like in practice. See? It's a systematic process. You're not just guessing or winging it. You're actively identifying potential problems, you're analyzing how bad they could be, and you're creating plans to deal with them, or building in buffers just in case. That risk register, that becomes your team's early warning system. So here's the bottom line. It's all about the mindset. A good PM manages plan A, right? But an elite PM, they've already thought through what happens if a key resource gets sick or a vendor delivers late. They are constantly asking, what's our plan B? And hey, what's our plan C? That proactive thinking is what separates the best from the rest. So once you've really got a handle on the mechanics, the next evolution is a huge one. This is the shift from managing tasks on a chart to leading actual human beings, with all their complexities, their motivations, their conflicts. This is where real leadership comes into play. Okay, if you only take away one number from this whole explainer, please make it this one. According to our source, project managers spend 70 to 80% of their time just communicating. Not scheduling, not budgeting, communicating. That really reframes the entire job, doesn't it?
And we're not just talking about sending a weekly status email. It is so much more varied than that. One minute you're translating super technical details for executives, the next you're negotiating contracts, and then you're mediating a disagreement between 2 of your best engineers. Let me be clear. Poor communication, not technical failure, is the #1 reason projects fail. Your ability to do this well is a direct predictor of your success. Period. So how do you get great at this? How do you become a great communicator and leader? The key competency here is emotional intelligence, or EQ. And it's not some vague, fluffy concept. It's a real skill you can actually build. It all starts with understanding yourself, then managing your own reactions, then seeking to understand other people, and finally, using all that understanding to build trust and influence. This is your toolkit for leading people.
And now for the final leap. This is the big one. You've mastered the mechanics, you're leading people effectively. The next level? It's all about connecting your project directly to the bigger picture, the organization's strategic goals. This is where you stop being just a delivery manager and you start becoming a business leader.
I absolutely love this quote from the source because it's just so blunt and so true. I mean, what is the point of delivering a project on time and on budget if it doesn't actually help the business? The ultimate goal isn't just to check a box and say, done. It's to deliver real, tangible value.
This slide just breaks it down perfectly. Outputs are the what.
the tangible thing you built, a new feature, a new building. But outcomes are the why, the measurable business impact it created. A great PM is absolutely obsessed with that right-hand column. They're constantly asking, how is this project actually going to move the needle for the business?
So how do you stay focused on those outcomes? Well, you've got to develop these 3 strategic competencies. Business acumen is all about understanding how the business actually works and makes money. Benefits realization helps you actually measure the value you delivered. And strategic thinking, that ensures your project fits into the company's long-term vision, not just some short-term goal.
So we've covered the mechanics, the people, and the strategy. Let's bring it all together now and map out what this journey, this path to real leadership actually looks like in a typical career. This progression, it basically tells the entire story we just walked through. You start out with the mechanics as a coordinator, right? Just tracking tasks. Then you grow into owning a full project. As a senior PM, you're wrangling big, complex stuff and leading people at a really high level. And then finally, you reach that strategic peak, influencing the entire organization as a program or portfolio leader. Each step up requires a deeper mastery of all the competencies we've been talking about.
And we'll end on this powerful thought right here. Your technical skills, they determine if you can deliver a project today. But it's those broader competencies, your leadership, your strategic thinking, your emotional intelligence, that's what's going to define where you go tomorrow. So the question I want to leave you with is, which competency are you going to focus on building next?